everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today with yet another fantastic call with our very favorite, very exciting healer, Nidhu Kapoor. She has really become one of my personal favorite energy workers. She's a master of creating energy technologies and tools that literally work in seconds. So, if you are one of those people who have hit a plateau in your healing, if you're struggling with important life choices in your career, for example, or your relationships, or if you've had a chronic health or wealth issue going on for years with no improvements, then today's call is going to be absolutely awesome for you. Because here's the important thing that Nidhu and I were talking about before today's call that she is going to be expanding upon today, is that one of the most important and essential tools that we have been given has to do with our brains. And yet we are really bypassing brains. We are working on the chakra systems. We are working on our other energetic systems. We're working on the Akashic records. We're working on ancestral lineages and all of those things. And we are trying to bypass the brain, yet the brain is here as our biggest helper. And when you work with Nidhu's energy technology, in her new powerful program, which offers amazing shifts in the shortest amount of time possible, and I'm literally talking about instant results within seconds. It's a super simple, powerful, and easy new technique, and she quickly helps you to release years of suffering and pain to literally get results within instant or seconds. It's really powerful. So while working through Nidhu's amazing, bold, and beautiful program, people have gotten results internally within seconds and externally within 24 hours. And literally that is what you can expect for yourself as well. People have been talking about how unbelievable the results are. There are people that have sworn that within 11 minutes is the longest that they have had to wait. There are specific successes and results from people just like you. For example, one person says, my sales have started right away. Another person said, I got a job offer after sitting at home for 8 months, no results, and then suddenly after working with Nidhu, they got the job offer. Another person said, my hair was falling and it reduced within one session and then it stopped after the second. Payment due for 2 years is coming in. Finally found the courage to ask for my money back. Another person, doubled my bank balance in a day. I increased my charges and got more offers. Unbelievable. Another person, I woke up exhausted, did the call, and I'm energized. Another person's knee pain gone completely in one shot. So these are technologies and results from people that were using even older technologies that Nidhu had, and now with her new and improved program, you can expect to get results that are similar to the ones that I just mentioned, but faster. Really super amazing. It's such an exciting time to be alive, such an exciting time to be able to have access to these amazing, beautiful technologies. This is the only bold and beautiful 1, 2, 3, and 4 words you will ever need for instant success. Access the bodacious power of the most exciting and misunderstood ascension organ of our times, which is the brain. A very exciting call, guys. Make sure you're fully present. Some of you are going to get a chance to work with Nidhu directly. She's going to ask you, what exactly is it that you would like to shift or transform right now on this call? So please make sure if you're raising your hand, please make sure you already have a topic picked out, okay? And then you can press *2 to be placed in the queue. And just as a disclaimer, I want you guys to know Nidhu is in India, and today is Diwali. They're still celebrating Diwali. So if you hear sounds or noises in the background, that is firecrackers, I believe. Or, right? Is that correct, Nidhu? Nidhu, can you hear me?
Absolutely correct, Eram.
Okay, cool.
I think that energy becomes a firecracker of the call as well.
Yes, that would be awesome. I just want to quickly finish talking about your background for just a couple of more minutes in case anybody joining us today has not heard you before. We have many new people joining us, so welcome, welcome, welcome. You are literally joining one of the top platforms, if not the only platform in the world right now where remarkable and amazing energy healers come through all the time. We really do a lot of work in finding these amazing light workers. They have gifts like nobody else in the world, and yet a lot of them are not yet known to the world. So this platform is honored and happy to introduce these powerful light workers to our wonderful community. So Nidhu is the only retrograde healer that we know of. She is the owner and sharer of Words, which is World of Retrograde Decrees and Switch Sentences. And she has created many programs with profound results where people's lives have literally all been shifted because of working with her, and has and like I said, she believes in getting results fast with speed. And that is why we just absolutely love working with her. So thank you so much, Nidhu, for being here with us. I'm super excited, as you can tell.
Thank you, Eram. Always joy, pleasure, honor, privilege to be here with you and your tribe. I can't wait to start and let everybody know what is going on at this point in our lives and our times. One of the things that I have mentioned before, and Eram, you would remember this, you do remember this, at the beginning of the year, I had mentioned that this is the year for ascension. From here till 2033 is when ascension will be a priority in all our lives. And the thing about ascension is that there is one primary organ. It's the most taken for granted organ. It's exactly like Eram said. We work on our chakra systems. We work on our auric field. We work on our stomachs. We work on our digestion. We work on our bank balances. We work on our weight project. We work on our addictions. But we don't take into consideration the importance of the brain in all our healing work. It is a mysterious, magical organ. In fact, I will go so far as to say that even the scientific community hasn't fully understood how the brain works. For 400 years, we've actually lived in the dark age of the brain, because 400 years back in the 17th century, science decided, that is mainstream science, Western science, decided that the laws of physics were how the body works. So the body has various systems that respond the way that mechanical objects respond. That if you do this, it will happen. And that the brain is a machine, that it's hardwired. Meaning that if something was not okay with the brain, it would never be okay. Because that's the whole point of a machine, right? You can't change a machine. You can't replace parts of the brain. At most, you can take out what might be overgrown in the brain, but you can't change it. A machine doesn't grow. A machine does not renew and regenerate. In the last 30 years, we have found that that's not true. And before I go and tell you what that magic is all about, let me tell you why the brain is so crucial. This is how the body functions. Messages go through our sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, skin, mouth, into the brain. The brain interprets it, sends back the message to the body to take certain actions. So there is a back and forth that takes place between us and the brain. I have no doubt that a lot of y'all have tried a lot of healing processes. If your healing process has made you reach a plateau, or if you still feel stuck and your one sentence is, oh my God, I've been trying all this and I've been trying all that and it's not working, the answer lies in the brain. Because look at it. You are here because your brain has interpreted a desire for change, for healing, for transformation, to be better and better every day in every way, brought you to this call. after this call, during this call, your brain's going to be sending out a lot more messages. So if your brain's not being able to do that, so it's receiving the message because the message goes straight, usually from the sacral area, because that's where desire comes up. It goes up, it gets interpreted, we show up for the call. But during the call and after the call, the messages from the brain need not reach the parts of us that will then be told what to do. Sometimes you can have a desire and not move on it at all. Again, because the passage and the messaging from us to the brain and back from the brain to us is jammed. So imagine, it's like wanting to go to Japan. And you've got to do a stopover in Thailand. If you do a stopover in Thailand, but all the airports are shut down on that day, you are not going to get to Japan. The brain is that stopover. If the stopover is not working, where you refuel, where you re-energize, you are not going to move on. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to hit that plateau that, it was working, now it's just not moving, because something in the brain is not further processing that signal outside. We are made up of 3 vibrations, which is the sum total of our vibrations. And everybody knows that our vibration is what impacts the law of attraction. And these 3 things are thought, feelings, and behavior. And the most important of these is thought. The heaviest of these is behavior, because behavior uses the entire energy and density of the body. And for a long time, it perplexed me. So why is thought the most important? Because thought is etheric. You can't hold a thought, right? You can't even weigh a thought. It's that light. So how then is it making sure that it's impacting the law of attraction when I'm feeling a certain way, I'm taking the correct action, and yet are not showing up? It's because thought is backed by the of the brain. Brain is almost the second largest organ in the body, close to its weight to the liver. Big, heavy body. Ever felt heavy-headed? Only something would just come off the head. Heavy-headed is excessive energy in the brain. And because the brain's expression is the mind carries that much power. I'll tell you one more thing. All of us like to do things around the heart. But the heart is the last thing we need to work on. Because the heart, if I use a chess metaphor, is like the queen. The body will do everything in its power to make sure that pain is sent to the joints, sent to the shoulders, sent to the toes, that all illness and disease is sent to other parts. The heart is always protected. We actually never have to work on the heart. But everything else, the pawn, the rook, the elephant, the horse, the king, all of it is the brain. And the power of the brain is the power of change. We have found out now, scientifically, proved experiments, because neuroplasticity is the buzzword in the scientific community right now, is that the brain is not just not hardwired, it is not a machine. It is sentient, a living, growing, regenerating, redistributing, reframing organ. One of the experiments that got done around it was where they checked for ferrets who were not seeing very well. So instead of putting the electrode into the visual cortex, which is one part of our brain, they put it in the auditory cortex. The auditory cortex is for hearing. And this is what we know, right? Eyes are for seeing, ears are for hearing, noses are for smelling. Well, guess what they found out? They found out that the ferrets could see better, even though the connection was being made with the auditory lobe. That the auditory lobe had rechanged its entire structure to become visual. Meaning the brain is multi-level magic that if we know how to work with the brain, oh boy, we're going to take our healing to the next level. And it's so simple to work with the brain. You don't have to be part of experiments. You don't have to join special schools. It's easy to work on the brain because that the brain subsists on. One is water. So I will remind everybody to take a sip and hold it in your mouth. When you hold water in the mouth, the moisture through the palate hits the brain. The brain uses...
How many seconds should we hold it?
5 seconds. And you can hold it and spit it, feel a toxic buildup in the mouth, or you can just swallow it. I put up a post, Eram, today and a couple of days back on the making of rich water. And rich water is just sweeter, cooler, power water. If you've done your rich water, do this with rich water and see how that makes. I'll quickly tell you about this. Rich water is where you take your glass or your bottle in the open mouth, just say, yes, I am richer. On the sides of the bottle, just say, yes, I am richer. Swirl the water a bit, have a sip. Texture will be different. The water taste will be different. The brain loves rich water, and rich water is a money manifesting tool as well. So use rich water, see what it does for your clients and your money.
Nidhu, you are always full of amazing and absolutely wonderful information. I always end up learning so many new things, and this rich water is just awesome and another really fun and I know amazingly transforming tool. I just want to move along because there's a lot of information that you wanted me to cover today so that really people can get why brain is such an important organ that we have been kind of missing out on, and it can actually really help, especially if people that are feeling they've plateaued or they're just stuck and they can't move forward, that this is an important piece of the puzzle perhaps that they had missed. So with your permission, I would like to go back to that topic, especially because you wanted me to also talk about the importance of retrograde, because we're doing this call when the retrograde is about to start again, and there is a very big reason why the timing happened to turn out this way, correct?
Absolutely correct, Eram. And thank you so much for bringing that up. The brain is the organ under focus right now because there's 2 planets being retrograde. One is Uranus, and the other is going to go retrograde in 2 days, but because we're in the shadow period of the retrograde, its effects are already on us, and that's Mercury retrograde, which everybody knows about. Mercury is about thought. Uranus is about electricity. Thought and electricity are 100% of the brain. The electricity of Uranus is the way that the brain physically functions, because the brain functions through neural pathways. It functions with neurons, and neurons are just mediums of passing along electricity. So the speed of electricity and the speed of thought are what are upending right now, because Mercury just takes over the mind, takes over the head. In fact, in my energy forecast, I was also preparing everybody for pressures around the head, headaches, migraines, strange things happening with the eyes, because the eyes are a huge part of brain function. In fact, I will give you a secret, which is we don't see with the eyes. We see with the brain. We don't hear with the ears. We hear with because the brain interprets signals. The eyes only send the signal. Skin only sends the signal. The mouth only. When we have a cold, we lose all taste and smell. So taste and smell are very close to each other in the brain. And the point is this, Uranus is, and while Mercury, joker, prankster energy, he is the father of power. Anything that we want done, we can get done faster now. Mentally, using the mind because of Mercury retrograde. Physically, using the brain because of Uranus retrograde. The other planet that's in retrograde right now is Neptune. And Neptune is the great mystic, the great ocean. Oceans are about consciousness and emotion. So we can have emotions that can completely take over the brain, interprets it. When you come home and you have bounding towards you, the brain interprets that and gives us a feeling like we belong. Things happen if a tie. Brain interprets that and says, listen, I'm going to send out, you better start running. That interpretation that takes place only in the brain. Even our knowing, our gut instinct, our intuition, all of these depend, brain will interpret how at the relay station, at the stop or at the layover, the brain is functioning. When you're stuck, I guarantee you, your brain is stuck. In fact, the back portion of the brain is stuck because it's that are involved in functioning. Stuckness has to do with the base of the as well as the forehead area. If you are stuck, I definitely want to hear from you. Talk itself, you will do, or come on for the one-on-one and see how you get unstuck in just a few seconds. In fact, because Mercury is going to be retrograde, but we may as well consider it retrograde. You know how delays make us feel? So frustrated, so worried, so helpless. Like they're never in our hands, right? Or if we're the ones who delay, we get completely stressed out. The first thing that affects is brain functioning. The first thing that affects is the amount of water in the body. And the moment the water in the body is affected, I was in fact saying that the thing that apart from water is glucose. And you will notice that if you're not having enough water, you will be having a lot of sweets. That your sweet intake will try and make up for the water intake. And you'll wonder where the weight is going. Well, the weight is going straight to the brain because the brain is saying, I need the water. If you're not giving me the water, glucose. And all kinds of addictions taking place around carbs and actual sugary products, which in turn create other. Well, your brain needs this. So if you will balance it out with the water, and here's my reminder to do the same thing with the water, hold it in your mouth for just a few seconds and then swallow it. And you will see that you are feeling more alert. You are feeling sharper. You are feeling more active and proactive because stuckness also gives rise to procrastination. And procrastination is also a brain function because it means that the messages from the brain are not flowing down to the muscles and the limbs.
Mm. So, Nidhu, we have a lot of... I'm sorry?
Sorry, ma'am. Please say. Sorry. You said we have a lot of?
We have a lot of questions from people that are feeling stuck, and I would love to start answering people's questions and maybe segue into the one-on-ones because it's just, I'm amazed at how many questions people have said that are feeling stuck or even they feel that they're going backwards. And a few people have brought up brain fog. Do you want to address that? Can you hear me, honey?
Yeah, I heard lots of
Nidhu,
people have brought up. Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, this is my internet. Of course, it's Mercury retrograde. So I said a lot of people have brought up even brain fog. Would you like to address that?
Very much so. But again, I love to get that word. Brain fog. Did you say brain fog?
Yes.
Brain fog. Absolutely. Brain fog takes place when the mind, which is an expression of the brain, is taking over brain function. So brain fog is when the brain is not working optimally because pacey, out of control mental chatter, where the mind has said, listen, you're not working properly as into the brain. I am going to do whatever it takes. You're not handling my worries, so I'm just going to make sure that I somehow find a solution. Because if you notice around brain fog, what actually takes place is that you get a little numbed out. In brain fog, you can't function. So the spiritual requirement of a brain fog is that you are moving too fast and you need to slow down. In fact, let's do an immediate clearing for brain fog. Just repeat it after me.
Awesome.
2 seconds. It's brain fog. You can leave now. I had somebody show up with a brain fog at an intensity of 100,000. She had brain fog for months. And we sat down, and this is the only decree we used. And I said, just say this after me. Brain fog, you can leave now. The word now
brain
is
fog,
very important.
You can leave now.
You can leave now. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And Uranus' number is 4. Uranus is also the master of the new. He loves the new. He'll do anything to bring us the new. So brain fog is something you've been dealing with. That's old energy. So say it 4 times. If you've already said it once, just say it 3 more times. Brain fog, you can leave now. Brain fog, you can leave now. Brain fog, you can leave now. And let Eram know how you are doing within seconds.
Ooh, wow. Very powerful. And I do want to remind people, because there are some people that have not heard you before, Nidhu, that these are energy, there's a lot of energy coding in these words that Nidhu has already worked on. So these are not, they're very simple words, but they're deceptively simple because there's a lot of energy coding that goes behind it. So I just want to remind people of that. And please do let me know. You can message through the webcast and let us both know how that felt, especially those of you that had written in about your brain fog. In the meanwhile, I want to go ahead and unmute callers now. And I just want to give you a heads up, Nidhu, that a few people are actually experiencing that it is your sound that is phasing in and out. So maybe move the phone closer to you, my dear. And I mean, if it's a bad connection, it's a bad connection. Not much we can do about that. But perhaps move the phone closer so we can hear you better. And if you still have issues hearing Nidhu, please let us know. And so, Nidhu, if you can pick a number for me, my dear, between 1 and 30, I will go ahead and unmute that person.
11.
All right, 11, I'm going to unmute you. Remember, guys, whatever issue that is that you would like to shift today, if it's something you've been stuck and you want to shift that, or it's just something you desire and you want to shift that and achieve that desire, whatever it is, let's have Nidhu help us create some magic. The area code is 205. 205, you are unmuted.
Oh my gosh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your name, dear?
Oh my gosh.
How cute.
Oh my gosh, I am
That
Shamanda.
was awesome.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that is beautiful.
Fantastic. Oh my gosh, thank you so much to both of you, Eram and Nidhu. Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thank you for bringing such lovely energy to the call. That is beautiful. All right, so
Thank
I
you.
think we're done. I think I can mute you now because you're already so happy. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I've been just thinking in my mind how great it would be to get called on today. So that's why I'm over the moon excited because I've never gotten called on and it's just amazing. Thank you.
Well, you already did big time, so here we are. Yeah. How can we further help you? Nidhu is amazing, by the way. She can really help create miracles. So what it is that you would like to manifest?
Oh my gosh, finances is. I really feel like I was led to her because one of the areas that I'm working on evolving is in neuroscience. So the neuroplasticity and all of that is like dead on for me. So as I read the email and I'm listening to her, that I'm wanting to take courses in that and work one-on-one with the higher consciousness. So the finances, the I'm looking for help in any blocks that I have in the finances because it seems like that's the only thing that's keeping me from getting that.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Nidhu, I'll let you take over, my dear.
Yes, first of all, I want to say what a powerful manifester you are. You wanted it and it happened. So it's just a matter of time before the finances also take place. It's so nice to begin with you and your laughter. May I know your name?
Sharonda.
Hi, Shalonda.
Hi.
Hi. Shalonda, where are finances stuck, Ma? Are they stuck in not coming or are they stuck in not coming enough?
It's not coming enough. It's not, and what I'm finding is I'm getting tons of interviews and really great opportunities, but then it just stops. So I'm wondering if there's something going on with me once I get to a certain state. But it's coming, but it's almost like it's getting cut off somewhere before, I get over that hump to get that extra income.
Got it.
That makes sense.
All stuff. Absolutely. Absolutely. So opportunity is coming, but not fructifying, which means
right.
You're being able to receive, as in the vibration of this is what I want is coming, but it's not converting. So the stuckness is definitely the back of the head. What I'm going to do right now for just 1 minute is do some work for you over there, and then I'm going to give you your transformation sentence, and you will see that something will shift within seconds. I want you to do something very odd, Shalonda. I want you to keep down the phone, if you're on the phone, and put your back towards me. So put your back to the call so that I have further access to your head.
Okay. Okay, it's time.
Fantastic, because I can already see it. Thank you. All right, Shalonda, I am picking up on stuckness in the areas of action as well. So when the opportunity comes, there are some actions to be taken that I can see you are not being able to take beyond that. Like when the opportunity comes, I can see that you're waiting for the opportunity to fructify on its own. So there is a message that is not going through once the opportunity comes to the rest of your body parts, either to your hands or to your legs. There is some physicality that has to be taken once the opportunity comes that you're not being able to take. So I can see that your occipital lobe as well as your cerebellum is looking a little locked down. I'm just going to unlock that. Hang on. Thank you. And done. Give me one more second. And done. Stay exactly like that for just 30 more seconds. Let's around and tell us how that made you feel, if at all, anything, and then I'm going to give you your power sentence.
Okay. Definitely feeling it in my chest. And even when I got on the call, I got on, as soon as the 15 minutes allowed, and I started then to kind of feel, I don't know, it's like a gushiness around my heart. That's the best way I can. And like now, my left arm, I'm feeling tingling in my left arm. And even right now, something around my throat. It's a gushiness. It feels like someone's wrapped me in like a plush throw or something is what it feels like. And now in my left leg, right by my knee, I'm feeling the tingling as well.
The tingling will continue for the next 24 hours. The sentence I'm going to give you will continue for the rest of your life. Your body parts have given me some more important messages of metaphysics. One, there seems to be some anxiety around receiving more money, and there also seems to be some anxiety and fear around speaking to get that more money. Literally the throat, the chest, and the left area. How is your left leg now?
It's fine. It's still tingling around the knee area. So it's just tingling.
Fantastic. Tingling is a great sign of meridians as well as neural pathways opening up. The neurons are firing. This is what we want because the brain is made up of neurons. When our neurons start firing, messages are now going through to the other body parts, you see, which is what we wanted. So that stuckness has already opened up.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now try this sentence. It's going to sound a little odd, but I will explain the science as we go on. Say the sentence, Yolanda. It is not safe for me.
Can you repeat that for me? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. A bomb went off, so obviously I'm going to be saying something very powerful. So it is not safe for me.
Okay. It is not safe for me
to have more money.
Okay.
You can leave now. It is not safe for me to get more money. You can leave now.
Yolanda, are you repeating, honey?
Yeah, it is not safe for me to have more money. You can leave now. It is not safe for me to get more money. You can leave now.
Fantastic. Tell me what happens to your throat, left shoulder, left arm, left leg.
The tingling is gone, but I'm feeling tingling in other areas.
Good.
My other right leg. So it's, yeah. Oh my gosh. This is so amazing.
Good. Good. This movement is what we want. This unstuckingness of the brain is what we are looking for. What is the opposite of this stuckness for you, Shalonda?
What was that question?
What is the opposite of this stuckness? So if you weren't stuck, what would be the opposite?
Abundant. I love helping people. I love outreach. I've kind of had visions of me helping others to kind of unlock their gifts. But I'm always like, how am I supposed to do that? I walk around and ask myself questions all the time. I have all kinds of unusual things that occur to me, and I know that there's more that I'm supposed to be doing in my life. I just didn't know how to connect the dots and how to get there.
In your abundance in finances, abundance in your ability to help others. That's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So Nidhu.
Here is your transformation sentence. Say this just one time, see how it makes you feel. Repeat after me, Mom. I am willing to
I am willing to
transform my stuckness into financial abundance.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you.
That was huge. Whew.
Nice. Very nice, Rolanda. How did it make you feel?
It makes me feel, believe it or not, safe when I say that, and I'm feeling that around my heart again. Yeah, so sensations around my heart.
Thank
you so much.
Seconds. Thank you. Say the sentence.
That is beautiful.
I am willing to transform my stuckness into financial abundance. I am willing to transform my stuckness into financial abundance.
Check how your heart is feeling.
One more
Check
time.
how you're doing.
It's better. It's better. Wow. This is so amazing. Thank you.
Wow, that was beautiful. Congratulations, honey, and keep us posted on how you feel, okay?
I will. Thank you so much.
So beautiful. Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Keep laughing.
Beautiful. We have time to do one more, and then we're going to talk about this powerful package that Nidhu has brought for us today, and where other people have been able to really, truly create miracles. And this was just a short example of what is possible. I want to go ahead and unmute the next person in line, and that area code is, okay, that's an international number. 61 is the country code, I believe. 61 is the country code.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, my name's Vicky.
I'm sorry, what's your name, hon?
My name is Vicky.
Vicky, wonderful to meet you, dear. And where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Australia.
Australia. Okay, cool. Well, Vicky, what would you like to transform or shift today?
I'm a little bit like the lady before, that everything either just about happens and is just snatched away, or virtually, and at times has been stolen away. And I just, every time money is coming, it's always coming in the future. It's always something that's going to happen, and it just doesn't seem to fall into reality for me.
Okay, cool. Would you like to take over now, Nidhu?
Yes. Hi again, Vicky. Please excuse the many bombs going off at my end of the country. I wanted to ask you, you've mentioned two things. You've mentioned it being taken away, as well as the fact that the opportunities don't materialize. Which one is stronger for you?
They don't materialize.
Could you say that again?
They don't materialize.
All right, they don't materialize. Again, that would be a stuckness in the occipital lobe as well as a little bit in the cerebellum. If you will just turn around, please, so let me do a little bit of a massage for the back of your head.
Okay.
All right, I am starting now. Turn around, Ricky. the stuckness in the brain is not as much as the stuckness in the mind. So I'm going to work on your frontal cortex now. There is one particular thought that is constantly getting in the way, and all the brain is supporting that thought. Do you know what that thought is? It could be something like, things never work out for me.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Never going to work for me.
Never going to work for me. All right. That is huge because apart from water and glucose, the brain subsists on words. Hang on. Let me just remove this or lighten it up before I give you your sentence. Superb. On a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is not at all and 10 is very high, how true is the sentence, things never work out for me? It's never going to work out for me. It will never work for me.
8.
And when you say 8, do you feel it in any part of the head, the truth of this 8?
I feel it in my throat, and it's almost is making me feel ill.
Wow. Close your eyes. Keep your palms on your knees. Keep your feet uncrossed. And I am just going to work on the brain part that controls your throat. I'm done. Check how your throat is feeling.
It feels clearer. It feels like something has come out.
Good. On a scale of 0 to 10, on a scale of 0 to 10, where it was an 8, that it never works out for me, how much is it now?
4.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
That is remarkable.
Yeah. Very well done,
Yeah.
Vicky. Very well done. You are clearly a very sensitive person, and that makes my work so much simpler. So thank you for being who you are. Vicky, what is the opposite of it never works out for me?
Everything always works out for me.
Nice. Say the sentence, I am willing to transform.
I am willing to transform.
Nothing ever working out for me.
Nothing ever working out for me.
Into everything working out for me.
Into everything is working out for me.
I am willing. I am willing. I am willing.
I am willing. I am willing. I am willing.
And take a few seconds and tell me how that makes you feel.
Makes me want to, I'm smiling.
Nice.
Yeah, I just feel lighter and I feel more positive.
Like it could happen.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, on a scale of 0 to 10, nothing ever works out for me. How much is it now? Where it was an 8, went to a 4, and is now?
It's a 2.
It's a 2. And if you will wait for just another minute, it will become 0. Because the clearing continues to work all through your life. Sometimes you have to remind the brain, because the brain works such that what it receives immediately has to go to the back portion. It has to go to the deeper recesses of the brain. So that travel time, sometimes we need to push the words a little bit. just do this for the next couple of days, 4 times in the day. That's all. And you will see your life turn around in 3 days.
Woohoo! Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
And
then let us know after 3 days, please.
Yes, please. And just before we let you go, Vicky, one last check. Where it was an 8 and a 4 became a 2. How much is it now?
It's on its
Vicky,
way
are
out.
you there, honey?
I am.
Oh,
It's on
that's beautiful. Love it, love it. So awesome.
Reduced.
And you can feel it going, right?
I can feel it going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost shocking, like your brain is in shock. I know, it's so cool. And remember, my dear, all of you guys that are following along on these clearings, please remember to drink lots of water, as Nidhu said earlier. Water is very, very important. Okay? Lots of love to you, Vicky. Thank you for being on the call. That was fantastic work.
Can I ask a question? Is this for everyone on the call?
Yes. Very much so. People on the replay can just repeat this sentence and it will work for them as well. Of course, I haven't done their brain boost, massage and activation, which is something that I will be doing as part of my sessions anyway. And if we have the time for a group demo, I will be doing it for the entire group as well. But the sentences, oh yes, they're for everybody.
I can tell you that when you were working through your stuff, Vicky, and I was repeating it, I felt the energy shift in me big time too. And with the last caller, Yolanda, as well. So, yeah, they're working big time. And thank you for holding the space for everybody, love. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. You're so welcome. So, Nidhu, I'm hearing those sounds of the firecrackers becoming more frequent. It's like almost every second. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead and talk about your wonderful package. I want to make sure everybody gets a chance to work with you, because imagine how beautiful these can be when you can get your own transformation sentence, work with it for a few days, and then literally watch transformation just flood through your life. I mean, we're talking about Speedster Shifts where you can literally release years of suffering and pain in seconds, and you just saw that happen. It's not a small thing when you've got a deep-rooted belief like nothing ever works out for me. That is, probably when she started out, it was even more than 8 probably, but when we started measuring it, it was at an 8. I mean, when you have that as a predominant thought or belief, rather, it's a belief, not a thought, that is what you are manifesting, and when you transform that to everything works out fantastic or easily for me, that is now the frequency. So Vicky literally changed as a person who started out on the call to who just got done. She's a different person. Her energy is that different. You're sending out a completely different energetic blueprint. Your energetic signature has changed, and the universe is basically a universe of frequency. I mean, the way our mind is perceiving the solid and the matter is just a perception of the brain as we all know it. So the universe is actually a universe of frequency. So the frequency now is going to be attracting a completely different experience into Vicky and Yolanda and everybody else that was participating in your life. So I really want you to get some information on this fantastic package. Every time Nidhu's packages are the most popular ones, one of the most popular ones we have, and literally almost nobody ever asks for a refund because her stuff is just that great and people love the results. So this is another opportunity, brand new package. Order joynow.com/shift19, SHIFT, the number 19, or press the special offer button. This is the package of Speedster Shifts. You're releasing years of suffering, pain, stuckness in just seconds, and I'm going to invite Nidhu to talk about this amazing offer because we usually run out of those packages very, very quickly, and right now they are at a discount. So I want you to please go ahead, Nidhu, take over and describe this awesome package. And yes, by the way, guys, we will do that group session that Nidhu was talking about. As soon as we're done, we will go ahead and we'll go into the group process for everybody.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eram. Thank you. Everybody, as you could see, the movements were taking place in 2 minutes and 3 minutes and 5 minutes. So my sessions are not longer than 11 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, but no more than that is required, which is why my package has 10 sessions for you within the package, where you and I will sit, you and I will not just receive a brain massage, but also get your own particular sentence to be used for yourself depending on the moon cycle. So if you notice in the demonstrations we just did that we did do a transformation sentence as well as a clearing sentence. And so our personal sessions are a combination of both. One of the other things that the brain loves is multidimensional work. The brain loves symbols, symbolic imagery, and working with its other dimension, because one of the most misunderstood aspects of consciousness is that we always think it has to do with the heart. It doesn't. It has to do with the brain. The brain is the seat of consciousness, and like Shalonda said, I want to get to a higher consciousness. To get to the higher consciousness of the heart, you have to go via the brain. So Shalonda is already on her way. Vicky is going to start manifesting so much more and more rapidly. I'd love for you all to come along for these 10 sessions. These 10 sessions can be used over the next few months. So you can use them once a week, twice a week, thrice a week. If at all you have an emergency, like an event coming up, or, your mother-in-law is coming over and you need some support, you can even do 2 in a day with a gap of about 4 to 6 hours. Because the work that we do is so simple, and there are 13 sentences like the ones that we just shared, 13. We have 7 group calls. These 7 group calls are aligned to the retrograde energy. So we'll get mental with Mercury, we will move and shake with Uranus, and we will go deep with Neptune. There are 2 calls on Mercury retrograde using words, which are these 6 sentences. There are 2 calls on Neptune retrograde, because that gets over by November 27th. And there are 3 calls on Uranus retrograde, because that gets over on 1st of Jan 2020. And in the times that you are not doing the group work or in a session with me, you have a brain boosting, brain Vita MP3. This particular MP3, it's just so easy to listen to. It has the sound of Tibetan bowls, not played by me. I was able to use a recording, but this particular MP3 is fantastic to support you as you do the work with yourself, because you can see it's so simple. Like I told Vicky, just do this for the next 3 days. She doesn't need to speak to me about that. She can just do that on her own and allow for the brain MP3 to support her in that. You also always get access to my Facebook group, which is Yes to More Health and Wealth, as well as an exclusive, yours only WhatsApp group. WhatsApp groups are really simple. They allow me to stay in touch with you, monitor your progress, and invariably my groups attract a beautiful, beautiful set of loving, caring, sharing people. So we're all there for each other. Group work is huge in ascension as well as in healing, because like they say in the Bible, if there is 2 or more, there I am. Group powers have the powers to attract God. The group work is a huge part of all my packages, always. 10 sessions, 7 group calls, Brain MP3, Facebook group, WhatsApp group. If you break it down to what its original price is, the entire package is more than $1,300. Right now, it's only at $197, which means that for each of these sections, you are paying less than $20. Like, whoa and wow, and let's do this immediately. Any questions that you may have, either on the package or the work itself, I always spend the next couple of days on the Facebook group, From Heartache to Joy, where I put up something known as Ask Me Anything About My Call. So feel free to ask me anything about my call. You also have the option of taking on 15 personal sessions when you take on the 10, and that itself is at another discounted, hugely discounted, valuable offer. Again, what a bomb.
These people are really celebrating.
Yeah.
They're going crazy. Wow. Honestly, it sounds like the movies where they used to have, you know, when bombs were going off. It sounds like that. But I know you're safe, and I know that it's just festivities, but that's what it sounds like. Cool.
Like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I'm just going to just remind everybody, the link is orderjoynow.com /shift19, SHIFT and the number 19. Right now, it is at a discounted price. And by the way, you can also get 2 payments. You can check out with 2 payments. If you can't afford to make the one payment of $197, just go ahead and sign up for 2, okay? Then you will be able to check out. Also, if you qualify for PayPal credit, that way also you can check out now, get your session, and you can pay off the PayPal over 6 months. It's a really, really powerful way. So this is so powerful, and also Nidhu has the offer where if you want to buy multiple sessions, you can do that too. I believe they get that offer once they check out, correct?
Correct. Absolutely. And
okay,
that's just
cool.
that
Very good. Now,
yeah.
Beautiful. I just want to quickly answer some of the questions on the webcast. If you guys have questions regarding the sessions and packages, go ahead and ask us, and I'll make sure that it's addressed. Debbie wants to know, can this package help with stuck weight issues?
Very much. So, weight, teeth, and back problems they do take a little longer to show up. I'm going to give you the secret to weight loss right away. The secret to weight loss is that first you have to feel light. Then you have to maintain the lightness. That lightness then starts becoming a physical shrinking of the body. And as he says, wow, I'm feeling light, that lightness is 100% guaranteed in the work that we do, both in the personal sessions as well as on the group calls. So maintain that lightness. I guarantee your weight will shift. However, come prepared to spend a little more time on the personal sessions as well as on the...
Beautiful. Okay. There's a really good question here, Nidhu, that are these clearings temporary? Because this is the question. Question is from Alexandra, because she's saying, is this temporarily unblocking? Because it seems to me the patterns would persist if there is not deeper work done to rewrite the script.
It's a fantastic question, as the bomb going off behind me also confirmed. Fantastic question. Yeah. So here's the thing. The healing, the sentence is permanent. It works for the rest of your life. This is how the brain takes it up. First, it goes through the prefrontal cortex, which is your forehead, where you received it, and it gets stored in short-term memory. For it to become long-term memory, as in giving you tangible results every second and every day for the rest of your life, it has to reach the hippocampus. that passageway from the prefrontal cortex, which is your forehead, to the center of the back of your head, that requires repetition. Because now that we know that the brain works exactly like a muscle, it's like going to a class for singing or dancing or Zumba or Capoeira. You can't just go once, although the effects will last you a long time. Repetition is why I have group calls, because when something is so easy, you'll forget to do it. When something is so simple, it won't cross your mind to do the work to push it into the back of the brain. The group calls help us do that. I promise by the time you're done with 7 group calls, you're going to be doing this at 3 a.m. in the morning. Like somebody can wake you up and you'll get up and say, oh, here's my transformation sentence. Oh, here's my clearing sentence. Like it will become ingrained in your neural pathway. That is what we want. It's a fantastic question, but I'll say it again. Even if you say it just once, it works for the rest of your life. That is why
Beautiful.
the shifts are instantaneous. You immediately feel it. You feel it going. You feel something changing, like Eram also said. I feel something shifting because it has already been absorbed by your nervous system. So it's not going anywhere now. It's going to continue its work inside.
Awesome.
Great question.
So that answers that question. Yeah, that was a really good question. And everybody else has, their questions regarding health issues. I just want to say here, remember, guys, if you are under the care of a medical practitioner, please make sure that you confer with them. And remember, these types of calls are all for information purposes only. We have to have these kinds of disclaimers, guys, as you understand in today's day and age. We have to have those. So as far as other health concerns are concerned, do you want to talk about some of the issues you've been able to help people with?
Yes, very much. Although I just want to return to what you just said about the disclaimer. I just want to say that that 2019 is also a year for allopathic chemical medication. It will be very good for you, especially if you started this year, because our bodies and brains do need external support to go through. If you are on medication, no problem at all. This work supports it and makes that medication work deeper and better. In fact, you will need smaller doses as you go on. Some of the case studies. They will tell me, like, for example, we were working on pimples. We were having this outbreak of the skin, and the girl, let us call her Kay. So Kay was having this pimple outbreak, not just around her period time, but also in general. Few days after her period would get over as well, the pimples would return. And pimples, being a physical density, like anything that's physical, takes a little longer because the energy is that much more thicker and heavier to shift out. So it did take us about 1.5 months, one session only per week, and her pimples are a thing of history. When she first called me, she was in tears, overwhelmed. She couldn't go out of the house. She wouldn't go out of the house. She was terrified of meeting family members. Even as we were doing the work and she started stepping out, she realized that others weren't paying her pimples as much attention as they used to. Like nobody was remarking on it. It was not coming up in conversation. Why don't you do this? Why don't you have hot water in the morning? Why don't you try yoga? Nothing was coming up. So the result of dealing with the pimples till the pimples left was also taking place simultaneously. And I have to tell you about this one particular case where let us call her F, and F just couldn't get up from the bed. It wasn't just depression, it was pain in her back, pain in her knees. So, shifting was very difficult to turn around, to get up. I'll give you her I'll give you her intensity. It was 100,000 when we started. In 11 minutes, and she had been like this for the last 6 years. In 11 minutes, 100,000 came down to 40,000, came down to 2. And she couldn't believe that she could turn around, that she could sit up. When she stood, she had a little bit of a vertigo because she'd been supine for so long, and even that we took care of. Her work, of course, continues because the pills that she was on for the last 6 years hadn't given her this. They only made her drowsy and put her more to bed, in fact. She's still on half the dosage of the medication and dedicatedly doing this work. She's up and even thinking about returning to work, returning to get a job. And
fantastic.
This is not to do with a health issue, but to tell you all that this works on everything. It works on plants, it works on animals, it works on computers, and right now, even as we were talking, I was trying it on the firecrackers, so it works on...
Yeah, they're definitely pure. Beautiful. Well, we don't... Yeah, I know people are just celebrating, so that's awesome. We don't want to interfere with that, but that's so cool. I love that. How about relationships? Does it work on turning around relationships? Because a lot of people, there's stuff coming up, and people are, some people I know for decades have been estranged from their loved ones. So can it work for estranged relationships or manifesting loving relationships?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Two of the most powerful words that the brain enjoys, loves, and takes up like water and glucose are the words, why not? So why not? I will tell you about this abusive relationship that changed in 3 weeks after 8 years. I will tell you about this relationship where the woman was ready to have extramarital affair. I mean, she was...
Wow. Nidhu, we lost you. Nidhu? Hello? So, can somebody message on the webcast? Can you guys hear me? I think we may have lost Nidhu. If you guys can hear me, please message on the webcast. I just want to make sure that I am still on. Or am I the one that got bumped off? Let's see.
Sorry, I'm back. Hello? Hello? Hi, am I audible? The fire is audible.
The moderator has left the conference.
Oh, hello. Okay, looks like we both got bumped off. Sorry about this, guys. I apologize. Let me try and see if we can get Nidhu back. Okay. Nidhu, are you back? Hi. Hello.
Hi. Hi, Ram. I can hear you. Hi.
Okay, beautiful. I can hear you too, my dear. I can hear you.
Awesome. And I was talking about this girl who was ready to have an extramarital affair, and right now she is the happiest person in her marriage. In fact, within the first session, She gave up the thought about, sleeping with this other person, realized that there were things to be done, that what was taking place in the relationship also had to do with her own sense of value and worth. And that very evening, her husband, who never buys her anything, bought her a flower. And she was over the moon with just that. In fact, her testimonial to me was, every time I do the work, he changes for the better. So within hours, whatever we would clear, she knew she could look forward to something wonderful with her husband. They had even stopped having sex for almost 8 months. And that also started again and started becoming more regular. He now listens to her, which I understand is a very big thing in relationships, where the husband will not listen. He listens to her. He listens to her advice. He started sticking up for her with his mother, and he now buys her gifts all the time. There is no way she's going anywhere. The marriage has been saved. Tell you about this other person who
that is fantastic. And by the way, that is fantastic. And what an amazing turnaround for someone who is wanting to turn around their relationship. I know many of our listeners had just messaged about relationship issues on the webcast. I can't imagine, this must be music to your ears that you can actually work with this and turn it around completely. If somebody who was ready to have an extramarital affair can turn it around, that's just so fantastic. Yeah, please go ahead. You were going to give us another example?
Yeah, she got married, and that's Dipali, and she couldn't believe it. And all she did, by the way, was the water technique. That's all she did, with one more addition to that water, which is definitely have it between the times of 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's all she did. And she got to marry the person, that she didn't even dream she could have gotten married to. So marriages happening, marriages getting saved, relationships becoming better. Oh, absolutely. In fact, that uses another process called the name-dropping technique. And the name-dropping technique is as simple as the sentence you just
I love
heard.
that.
It's just one sentence. All of the work is just that one sentence. And we do that sentence 2 or 3 or 4 or 11 times, depending on the number and the planet. Like for Mercury, we do it 5 times. For Uranus, we do it 4 times. For Neptune, we do it 7 times. So using also the energies that are available to us right now.
Love it. I love it. And they can do all of that and more in a session with you, right?
Absolutely. They can do it in the session. We'll also be covering it in the group session. And this has nothing to do with relationships, but I had, let's call her B. B called me up and said, I don't think you can help me. That was her first sentence. She said, I don't think you can help me, but I'm just completely out of my head right now because she had to travel. The next morning, she had to travel to London. She couldn't find her passport. The passport was coming from Delhi. The passport and the visa were coming from Delhi. Nobody could trace the passport. It had not reached. It had not been sent. She called me at around 8 o'clock in the night. So clearly no offices were going to be open at that time. We began the work. The work was as simple as, my passport is not reaching me. You can leave now. That and in the middle of the session, she was like, maybe I should book my ticket. But my ticket is going to cost a few $1,000s. I'm not sure that I want to invest that kind of money, but now I don't. You know how your mind goes, right? It starts going towards solutions, and then there are solutions that don't make us happy. And so it was like I'm going to do this. I don't think this is going to happen. By about 4 hours later, the passport had been found, tracked, given to her. She caught the next morning flight. And she was like, Nidhu, I will never ever say to you that I don't think you can help me. I will never use this sentence again when it comes to the decrees. Yeah. It was amazing. Wow. Sometimes there are also...
So I just want to quickly remind everybody. I was just going to say, I just want to remind everybody that orderjoynow.com/shift19, SHIFT, number 19, where you get, literally, it is packed full of one-on-one time with Nidhu, because not only are you getting the personalized Speedster sessions, that's 10 one-on-one sessions. Okay, they're Speedster sessions, so you instantly can shift out of chronic pain or stuckness or whatever it is. Really, really powerful. So it says here, yeah, so that's 110 minutes of one-on-one time with Nidhu, so that's really powerful. Then you get the Chronic Project Protocol, which is 7 powerful group healing sessions. I always love those. These are going to be beginning on the new moon on November 26th. And remember, if you miss any of these, you can listen to the recording, and it works just as well, and it's yours to keep. You will own it. You can go back and listen to it again and again. This was, by the way, for weight release. Somebody was asking about that. So, yes, you can work on issues like weight, adrenal fatigue, IBS, trauma and abuse, much, much more, lots more topics. I know that Nidhu just goes above and beyond and covers way more than you normally see in these types of packages. Plus, you get 3 months access. That's item 3. You get 3 months access to the private Facebook group. And you're also getting a bonus right now, which is an MP3, the Healthy Brain, Healthy You MP3, which is, again, it's 33 minutes of energy that you are going to receive in this MP3. So really, really great and awesome, powerful package. It is for $13.64. If you had to pay for everything separately, if you were buying outside of FHTJ, you would be paying close to $1,400. And normally this would have, even for us, this would be at $247, which is going to be the price, by the way, once we sell out of these introductory packages. Right now it's at $197, and you can get it with 2 pays if you want to. If you can't afford the 1 pay, I mean, come on, you guys heard the technique today. Let's just manifest. If you don't feel that you have the money right now, make a strong intention, start working with the decrees and manifest the money so that you can become a part of this powerful group once it starts and get those 10 mini sessions. So Nidhu, my dear, I think we are done with the questions. I don't see any questions coming up. If you guys did send me some stuff and I just didn't hear you, couldn't get the question because there is a delay on my internet today, then we will send the question to Nidhu afterwards. Before we end the call, Nidhu, I want to go ahead and start the group process, my dear, because we promised our listeners that you would do a group process for everybody.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So the group process starts with the single sentence you need for your brain health. It's the simple. Figured it out. Let us say the sentence together, see the reaction you have, and then I am going to do a brain for you all. Sentence is damaged neurons, you can leave now. I'll say it again. Damaged neurons, you can leave now. For your brain is something new, I'll say it 2 more times. Damaged neurons, you leave now. Damaged neurons, you can leave now. You need not feel this around the head. You can have a sensation or awareness or shift anywhere. The brain will take the message and immediately go to the part that has the damaged neurons. And we all have some amount of damaged neurons because there is so much information overload. There's so much
sensory overload, including on this call with the firecrackers at the back. There's so much stress overload. We're all in this particular race trying to rush towards the finish line. When we say damaged neurons, you can see we are clearing the pathway from us to the brain and the brain to us. So you can expect to feel more energized, more awake, more proactive, definitely more up. You will see that you will be able to take way more action, get more done in just 24 hours of us doing this call. Tell me, how are you all doing? If there are any reactions you want to share, and from there, I will move on to the brain work for all of you all.
I don't see any comments.
They may need a minute or two, but I'll carry on. And I want everybody, if you're in the middle of a shift, take your time. But everybody, just turn around so I have access to the back of your head. So turn around. Like put your back to the call. And I am starting in 3, 2, 1. Now. It will take only 2 minutes. What an amazing group you all are. It took less than 2 minutes. Take your time. Allow for the adjustments to take place. And then whenever you're ready, please let Eram know how you're doing. I put in a little bit more for the spinal column as well.
Beautiful. Nidhu, can you hear me, my dear?
Yes, my love, I can hear you.
I was also processing with the rest of the group, so thank you so much. And Mercury retrograde, true to its energy, true to its word, it has been playing a lot of tricks on us today. So
True.
It's been fun. I just wanted to say that it's just really, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you. It was such a beautiful call. You have given us so much, as always. You end up giving more in your these packages than I normally see. I just wanted to mention that you give so much personal time and attention to our clients. I know that you sell hundreds of packages because we see those sales coming through. And yet we have never heard a single complaint from someone saying, you know, Nidhu did not give me attention, or I don't feel like I got the attention. So thank you so much for this amazing and wonderful work that you do. I honestly don't know how you do it, because that's just, I don't know how you get the time in the day, and how you're always so full of energy and love, and you're so courteous and so kind. So thank you so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being so amazing, and for your continued service.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eram. Your words mean a lot to me. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you, everybody, showing up and being here.
Thank you.
I appreciate you very much.
And I do want to. Yes, absolutely. And I want to also say that we appreciate you very much. Thank you for all of you that called in, participated on the call, helped us in holding space for everybody to shift as you talked about your own stuff. Thank you so much for your courage. Thank you for your commitment. Lots and lots of love to all of you guys. Take care and bye-bye.